All right. Did you have a case? You, in the pink. Did you have a case you could bring up? Yeah.
No.
All right, I didn't know. Josh, I want to hear this one.
Okay. He's mean to me.
Zoning law.
I just see why I voted for your thing, even though I argued against you. Okay, so Howell's moving castle for zoning violations. I mean, how do we even begin to start with this thing? It's a castle that stomps all over everyone else's property, going to where it wants to go. It's invisible, so you can't even tell it's there until it's knocked over all of your stuff. Is it a business? It's got a fire and a smith in it. Is it a home? I mean, people live in there, but they also live under the ocean. Like, you know, there's a cloudy thing through the other door. It depends which color you turn it to, if you've seen. But like the fact that it moves, the fact that it's a house, the fact that maybe a business, and then it's like, you know, where do the zoning violations come? How do you tax this thing?
All right, you know what the funny? This brings up a funny story from a role-playing game I created. Yes, I have my own system. I've been running for 17 years. I've pulled in aspects of just about every Final Fantasy game, just about any game that I've ever liked, into this thing. So I went down to this planet in Balam Garden from Final Fantasy VIII was there. And they were walking toward wherever it was they were going, and Balam Garden was floating by. One of my characters sits there and they stop and they look at this thing and it's like, ah, school crossing. Good, that was my joke for the day. Continue. I have nothing to say.
Yes, probably actually. Like, you know, it's the castle stomped all over other houses and stuff. Yeah.
Now, you said that this is a castle, correct?
In theory.
Isn't a castle a fortified structure meant to defend a territory? So
which means it's a military base.
Exactly. Doesn't that mean that he has free reign to move around as he sees fit in the purpose of serving the country that he's protecting?
Or he could be a constantly invading force.
Ah, but hold on a second. If we go by an argument that he is an embassy, technically wherever he is part of the
Hal's moving embassy.
Wherever he is part of his originating country. So wherever he goes, he owns the land.
Do your thing. Stealing your thunder. Do your thing.
Okay. What?
I don't think it's a problem with house moving. It's like a trailer home. You know, you move it around wherever you want.
Only the trailer parks.
You don't crush buildings when you move a trailer.
Crush anthill. Isn't that the same in scale?
Listen, you've got enough scale for one day.
Throw my own argument.
Isn't he already kind of paying taxes and like land ownership anyway? Because the one door opens up in the one country, the other door opens up in the other country. So obviously he owns both those buildings. So he's paying for that. And then when he's walking around, it's always on the outskirts in an area where it's like camping.
Interesting. Yes.
Also, shouldn't he be charged for air pollution?
Oh man, Casper is pretty low.
Produced every time
You have to clear the entire universe as air pollution. There's so many flying things are putting off so much smoke.
Casper does put out a lot of smoke.
Areas. Are we speaking strictly movie canon here, just to clarify?
Moving what?
Are we speaking strictly movie canon, just to clarify?
Strictly movie canon. I don't know there's anything else.
Wouldn't he also be trespassing too?
Yes, thank you.
No, but here's the thing. That's the argument I brought up with the castle. Is you know, if we're arguing it's military, then you're starting to tread on embassy law.
But in order to get either recognition as an embassy or a sovereign nation, you have to, you know, literally be recognized as such, like Sweden's not.
We can be recognized. We can operate in that.
Sealand isn't recognized.
Sealand, that's what I'd say. Yeah.
Howl's Moving Castle, we've established it's a government-sanctioned building. It's an embassy. That also gives that embassy the power of public domain, meaning that when the country needs a specific plot of land,
that's eminent domain.
Eminent domain. I'm sorry, thank you. Eminent domain. It is sanctioned to purchase that piece of land at its current market value. If that land is owned by poor people, that means the land is worthless. So therefore, stepping on it is totally legal.
But does eminent domain apply to wanted fugitives?
How do you mean?
Well, Hal is actually wanted for being a wizard.
He's not actually working for the government.
Yeah, that's it.
He's avoiding working for
Well,
the
if you're not
government.
working for sanctions against him, so it's just.
Wouldn't the castle be covered under existing nomadic laws that govern nomadic groups?
Ooh, I like that.
Wow, great argument. I like that.
Yeah. So he's basically an Indian tribe.
Or it could be a gypsy.
Or a gypsy tribe.
Or gypsy tribe. Yeah.
But gypsies are usually discriminated against,
He's not a
so
gypsy.
he wouldn't be like.
Well, by bringing them up on trial for this, aren't we discriminating against them already?
That's true.
So we're,
Civil
we're
rights.
sort of
Is he
we're
a?
making our own arguments here.
What about Casper? My case is falling apart like Casper.
Other arguments.
Casper.
He
has a kid for you.
Casper falls apart.
Other arguments.
If he's a fugitive, how would he work?
He's not.
Huh.
No, that's what you're saying. Like, that the castle was embassy.
I was trying to make that argument, but it was sort of debunked because it would not actually be an embassy unless it was acknowledged as an embassy by the country it was in. So, yes.
He has a child working for him, so there could be charges of child
Oh
labor.
Lord.
Yes.
Technically, the child is an apprentice.
How old is the child?
Different.
How old is the child? Do we know how old the child is?
Looks like he's about 7. No, I think he's like 11.
Apprentice laws.
Apprentice
If
laws.
we're going back by the theme, apprentice laws state that you can have a child working for you so long as you are teaching him the tools of your trade.
Okay. He's
Pretty much a slave as long as he's learning something.
Yes.
Indentured servitude.
Indentured servitude also for Casper.
disguising
So he can literally cannot leave the castle.
But if he's being taught, then
Casper the
No,
Fire.
no, no. But Calcifer is not there. I mean, he's there on his own free will because he's technically part of Hal, since he's his heart.
That's true.
So the only reason Calcifer even exists in this universe is because he got swallowed a star. And he went, okay, now I'm here.
Didn't we argue in a previous Inuyasha case that Naraku was entitled to all of his apparitions? They were part of him?
yes.
So then, therefore, wouldn't the fire be part of Hal?
There you
It's
go.
owned by Hal as part of Hal. Okay.
All right. So,
We're moving back to the zoning
what
violation.
the hell's our? Yeah, all those who believe that Howl's Moving Castle is guilty of zoning violations.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Good job.
All right.
You didn't even vote for it.
He's very persuasive.
I love that nomadic tribe part.
Yeah, that was
genius.
that actually won me over. It was my case.
All right. Who else had cases? All right. I'm gonna give you a shot. Now, what I want you to do, because